Hello, everyone. Hope you're hearing me. We're live from Cambridge and we're doing our exhibit. We will do it online, and so that you guys know what organizations we have down here and you can learn what they're doing and get more involved with the things that youth groups do. So, first of all, our first group will be Mosaic. We have them here with us. There you go. Hi. I'll leave the floor to you, and then we'll have the UN, Boston Education, AFS, and IYC join us one by one to do their exhibit and talk about the works that they do on their local level. All right, the floor is yours. Jose.
All right, so I'm Matt Anderson. I'm the Executive Director of Mosaic Interfaith Youth Action.
And my name's Hannah Andry. I'm the Director of Programs and Strategy at Mosaic.
At Mosaic, we work with youth ages 12 to 18 years of age with experiential education to build bridges across religious divides.
And we use this hands-on educational model because we find it really brings youth together. It creates a space for them to talk about not only what makes them unique in their faith identities, but what we can also celebrate. We can celebrate differences, but also celebrate what brings us together. And we do this through intentional interfaith dialogue and learning about social justice and civic action in our communities.
Our organization is a little bit unique in that we have different programmatic offerings throughout the year. So while we are focused on the Boston area, we do have programs that, as Hannah was just saying, focus more on the interfaith social justice component. And then we have some programming that focuses more on interfaith dialogue, and then others that are more aligned with what's happening in the news or maybe hot topic issues in our workshops.
Yeah, so we do our best to stay on top of the latest trends in the news, having to do both with interfaith education and social justice. And so we work with our youth to identify which parts of their identities call them to civic action and social justice. For example, this year with one of our programs, we're focusing on climate justice. So we're thinking about how those multiple identities that youth have and that we have call us to action for the greater good, while unpacking some of those more diverse interfaith identities. Great. All set.
Wraps us up.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for joining us and telling us all about the work that you guys do. And from the comment section, do you guys have any questions to Mosaic? All right, thank you very much. Now we'll go to our next partner. So, Hawa, hello, welcome again from UN, and we're really excited here in Cambridge to hear all about things that the UN does and opportunities for our people.
Hey, thanks, Enes. Hi, everybody. Hi, Cambridge. Shout out to all the good people out there. I'm Howard Taylor Kamara Diallo. So happy to be here with you. I work for the Civil Society Unit. That's located in the Department of Global Communications at the United Nations headquarters here in New York. I hope you guys have heard about the UN before. Come visit us at the UN headquarters in New York. It's your world. It's open to you. You can take a guided tour. You can even take a virtual tour. Now, the United Nations is located all around the world. There are different headquarters in Vienna, Austria, in Geneva, Switzerland. I had the pleasure of working in the headquarters in Africa, in Nairobi, Kenya. We have regional offices all around the world, in Addis Ababa, in Beirut, in Bangkok, to name a few. And then there are also country offices all around the world as well. These are called UN information centers that engage with people, at the local level. Now, in terms of the work that I do, my office deals with all the communication and advocacy work at the United Nations system. Because when you say the UN, it's a really big organization. So you have the headquarters that's here in some of the places I mentioned, New York, Geneva, Nairobi. But, you have many, many UN, what they call specialized agencies and programs all around the world. Like I'm sure you guys in the US have heard of UNICEF. I grew up here in New York, so I used to collect pennies for UNICEF for Halloween. Maybe you've heard of World Health Organization. They've been super, super big and amazing, doing a lot of the work during the pandemic about vaccines, but also about making sure that everybody around the world has vaccines. Maybe you've heard about the World Food Program. So when you think about the UN, you really need to know what your interest is, what you want to do, and where you want to be involved, and how you're going to make change. So as I was saying, my office is all about advocacy. There are three departments. The one I work with is called they're actually divisions, outreach division, which does all the outreach. So if you see like big mega events, if you were watching the General Assembly last week, my office was involved in a lot of those events and the planning. If you saw Malala, if you saw Priyanka Chopra Jonas, if you saw Amanda Gorman, like light up the General Assembly, that was my division. Just really making sure that we bring the UN to the people and people also feel close to the UN. You have a division that does all the strategic communication, social media, all the big conferences, all the thematic graphics and communication that comes out of the UN comes from that division. And then if you're looking at the UN website, it's the news and media division. If you're reading a press release about the UN, that's also that division. One good thing to know is that we're here talking about young people. So you have a youth envoy's office, which is actually part of the UN Department of Global Communication. So the youth envoy is Jayatma. She is your voice, I say, at the UN. That's the person that's championing all the work at the United Nations, making sure that the needs and the voices of young people are heard. Now, I'm going to find some time in the chat to put up some links so you can find this information out, because this exhibition is so that you can really know how to work with the UN. So for me, I work with civil society, making sure that the UN has a good relationship, a strengthened relationship. I also work with a lot of youth organizations so that they also can be involved and be part of the UN. But for me, what's important is when I build that bridge and it allows young people like yourselves to make your voices and your concerns heard at the United Nations. So one of the things I do is I manage a youth program for civil society organizations that are mostly youth led. I also manage a youth representative steering committee. So that group of young people ages 18 to 32, support my office in helping us develop awesome, events and products. Or maybe it allows me to partner with Generation Next, IYC, to bring, important information or activities to you. So there's a lot to do at the UN. You might want to do an internship. You might want to get a job at the UN. You might just want to volunteer. But what I should tell you is do not wait to come to the UN, whether it's New York or Geneva, to think that you have to do something. Activate something in your community. And that's what I love about IYC, because you have a lot of young people around the world in places where even the UN is not reaching, that are actively changing the situation in their community. They're making impact, and they're not just staying in cities. They're taking it to the most remote areas in their countries. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to ask any questions you have. I'm going to pass it back on to Enes, and I'll do my best to put a lot of links in the chat of this session right now. I'm now online, but I hope to be there in Cambridge tomorrow, and I hope I'll be interacting with all of you that are there in person. Thanks so much for giving us this opportunity to talk about the work of the United Nations Department of Global Communications and how we try to do awesome things for young people. Over to you, Enes.
Thank you very much, Hawa. Yeah, there's like a lot of things are going on, a lot of things that especially young people can be involved. And thank you very much for all the hard work that you guys are doing over there. And hopefully we'll get more young people involved and hopefully take the lead and work together. Thank you very much. Now we will be moving on to Ali Mustafa. He is also here in Cambridge with us, and he'll talk first about IYC and also all the work that AFS does. So hi Ali. Okay. So now we are with Ali to speak on IOIC. Yes, sorry for that sound problem. I guess we were having. Now we're reconnecting with Ali from another device, and then. Uh, okay, now, uh, Ali, can you continue?
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible, and I really hope that I'm audible right now. And now you guys can hear me. So, okay, so let me start with the beginning. So, I'm representing International Youth Conference. I'm the founder of International Youth Conference, and we created International Youth Conference from it was the outcome of the Youth Declaration or the Youth Climate Compact from the civil society 68th United Nations Civil Society Conference in 2019 in Salt Lake City. And the aim of this international youth conference was to create a network all around the world and connect with young people in their local communities. So we started with online, and now we are um, being creative, doing experiments, and now we're down to the sixth international youth conference, and it's like the 6.2, or technically you can say the seventh part of the conference, what we are doing here today and tomorrow. So, just trying to explain the modus operandi of the conference of how we do things and what International Youth Conference is basically. When we say that it's a platform for the youth from the global south, it really is the platform of the youth from the global south. They attend the conference, and after attending the conference, we encourage them to do the projects in their local communities on sustainable development goals. And one of the unique thing of the International Youth Conference is that we do not encourage tourism on the name of conferences, events, or program. You don't have to travel to New York, London, Geneva, or anywhere to attend the conference or to make an impact. And so that is why we got the high quality of young people working with us who are like really passionate about making change in their communities. They are absolutely passionate about making change in their communities. So once they do the project, they come they once they do the project, they report it to us. Then we tell the entire world like what kind of work they're doing in their communities. And we got young people from all around the world, especially from global south, and especially from the economically challenged or financially challenged communities or the places, and they really do fantastic job over there on their available resources. And that's one of the basic aim, that you mobilize your available resources at your best. So they try to do that, and that's a really fantastic thing that they do. So, and one of the basic aim for the International Youth Conference was to bring young people, especially from the global south, onto the decision-making table or make them represent at different forums. We have been successful in doing so because we have been bringing speakers or the work of young people at the forums like EcoSoc Youth Forum and at the International Youth Day, or you can say the high level political forum. We invited speakers from global south, or the people or young people who have never represented at those forums, and they're actually doing something or making some impact in their communities. So they actually represent at those forum, and that's what we're trying to achieve with International Youth Conference, that we grow together. It is a conference from the youth, by the youth, for the youth. You can see that most of the speakers in our panels, in our conference, are young people, and even the participants are young people. but we encourage more young people coming in, speaking, presenting about their work, talking about their experience, and grow with us. We grow together. That's what the aim of International Youth Conference is. We try to do something new every time. This virtual exhibition that you see, it's we're trying to be more creative. We're trying to explore more option of outreach and how we can engage people, engage communities, engage organizations who do not have resources or the means to travel and come and attend such conferences. So uh, that's what we're trying to do with the International Youth Conference. And if you have any more question on how we do what we do, happy to answer that. Thank you, Anas. Where is he? With that, when Anas will join us back, I will move to the presentation of from the Youth Assembly, and which was done by Miss Yumna Khan previously, and I will try to play that video for you. So we do the presentation by Yumna Khan. Where's that? She did it at the. Is it in the recording? Can you see that?
Thank you very much, Ali, for that introduction of IYC, and I'm also really honored to be a part of IYC as of last year. I participated as an volunteer, got involved, love the work that you do, especially the efforts that IYC puts into bringing more voice of the communities that have, like in the global platform, less voice or less accessibility. So our aim is to empower all those who did not have the voice and hopefully give the platform to as much people as possible so that we engage together, we keep our passions together, and hopefully work for a better world all together. And alongside my IYC, what I used to do with that was I'm the director of Boston Education and Counseling. So now I put my hat of IYC out and put my Boston Education hat, that I will be explaining what we do as Boston Education here in Boston. So 2 years ago, when I came into a team, we had an organization called Boston Dialogue Foundation, which we had a great board that wanted to engage with more educational programs and put more effort in education so that we can improve the things around the Boston area. So I came in, and now we established an organization called Boston Education and Counseling, where our aim is to start mentoring the kids from kindergarten up until college so that they have a mentor, they like people that they look up to, so that they become people that are involved in their communities, that they work with their communities, and hopefully engage more and more of their passions to enhance the communities that they live in. And I think that is one of the like important aspects of mentorship, and we will be hearing from educators tomorrow in the conference of the work that they do and how mentorship is important. So I would like to put on that, and like that you guys join us tomorrow, especially within those areas, to make sure and learn about how education helps you. And after that, we put in like in Boston, there's a crisis of housing, and a lot of students come in and hard to find good houses and also good friends in those houses. So we try to help college students to find good network through our student network and also put them together with great people. And other than that, we have uh, our networking sessions that we put in together for our students to come in and learn from each other. And also we work with a sister organization called Boston Dialogue, Boston Youth Dialogue, where our youth from colleges come together and establish this organization so that they can advocate for dialogue, peace, and bring in together people from all cultures within the Boston spectrum to start talking and hopefully creating a better world. So these are some of the things that we do at Boston Education. You guys can visit our website and social media to be engaged more and learn more. And hopefully now we'll have another presentation from AFS that will be streaming here. And after that, we'll be done for today's exhibit. And after the exhibit, you guys can leave comments, look at the presentations, all the videos that we have put in our past conference in New York, so that you guys can learn more and more. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be start like live streaming from 9 a.m. Eastern time, and until 4:30. And we have a lot of great speakers that you can learn from, and we'll have a great live audience here in Cambridge and also with you guys online. Now we're waiting. And also along this time, if you guys have any questions, anything that you'd like to ask, also Mrs. Hawat Diallo posted how you guys can be engaged in the websites of the UN for the civil society. You guys can go and check those out to find opportunities to be engaged more and more. And you never know what kind of opportunity would uplift you, would make you to apply your passion to life and be involved and get more things done with those great organizations. Sorry for the voice confusion. Uh, I'll be putting in the stream now live. Youth system, which
I send you on the WhatsApp.
sorry for the delay. Now we got our video. Okay. All right. And I'm putting it live. Okay. Doesn't have voice. We're having sound problems again. I'm a computer scientist, but those always happen. We're having sound problems again. Let's see. So, can I? The voice doesn't go. No, from the Facebook. We hear it from Facebook. Sorry everyone for that confusion again. Sorry everyone for that confusion again. Right, sorry for the sound problem again. Now we're bringing in special mic to resolve this issue. Sorry for the sound problem again. Now we're bringing in special mic to resolve this issue. Sorry for the sound. Right, hopefully this will resolve the issue. I'm sharing once more.
Manager here at AFS Intercultural Programs, and really warm welcome to the IYC team as well in co-hosting this event with us in our New York offices. So today I'm here to talk to you guys about the AFS Youth Assembly, a little bit more about what AFS does as an organization. Just hopefully you can see my screen fine. Okay, so a little bit about AFS. We are an intercultural programs nonprofit organization with over 11,000 AFS study abroad participants all over the world. And when I say all over the world, that's over 100 countries, and that's something we're really, really proud of, having that type of reach in every region of the world. We have over 500,000 alumni and over 50,000 AFS volunteers. So definitely we have a very wide network of young people that we work with throughout the world, as well as organizations and partners. Specifically, we have 60 AFS network organizations based in various countries. So what do we really do at AFS? Firstly, we globalize schools and institutions. We develop active global citizens and expand access to intercultural education. So our main activity at AFS is providing high school abroad experiences for secondary students all over the world. And AFS is an organization where we really built out exchange programs, which took place from 1947. So it's been definitely over 100 years. Since then, we have expanded to have partner organizations, as I mentioned, in 60 different countries, but we all work towards the same mission of developing active global citizens. The headquarters are located in New York City, as you all are aware, and have been hosting this IYC conference from the headquarters in New York City. We carry out the work of sending and hosting 12,000 high school students annually with around 1,000 staff globally, and working very closely with host families and volunteers to run our programs internationally. So that's a little bit more about AFS. And our approach is really to help young people experience, learn together, and then put everything they've learned into practice. And making sure with the mission that we're really aligning our goals around having active global citizens globally. And then creating a more just and peaceful world as an outcome or a goal-oriented approach is what we're looking for. So what I'm going to talk a little bit about here is what an active global citizen is. So for AFS, it's really about respecting the differences and embracing diversity, understanding membership in your global community, and awareness of connection between both the local and the global levels, and embracing our role as an organization and as AFS globally, and really having a leadership position and working with young people. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Youth Assembly. The Youth Assembly, as I mentioned earlier, is a flagship program of AFS, one of the most exciting initiatives that we have. Youth Assembly was first held in 2004. It is a global platform or gathering of young leaders, social entrepreneurs, activists, and champions of sustainable development from over 160 countries. Since 2004, we've had over 20,000 program participants. We've had nearly 1,000 youth-led projects that were generated, and we have over 51,000 subscribers on our social media channels. The Youth Assembly aims to give the next generation of leaders a global platform to connect with like-minded peers, trailblazers, and influencers. We really hope to develop global competence and critical skills and transform their vision for a better future through innovative action. So looking a little closer at who participates, and this might be relevant from all of you guys who might be watching in different parts of the world, we have participants from every region across the world, including the global south, where largely our participants are coming from. So I would say Asia, Africa, the Middle East are our main regions where youth are mostly interested in participating in the youth assemblies, followed by North America and Europe. Our participants are between the ages of 18 and 32. So if you're a young student in school, a university student, or maybe just a new graduate who's a young professional, this is something for you that you might, you might find beneficial in your career development. So taking a closer look at program and what it really includes. So what is the Youth Assembly in practical ways? So we have keynote speeches from high-level speakers across the world, as well as very forward-thinking youth who are involved in from climate action to poverty and development. We have thematic discussions led by experts in various fields. We have skills building workshops, which are much more hands-on and really help to have young people be much more involved in practical skill development. We have something called the Global Citizen Awards Finals, which is an amazing opportunity for any young person who's interested in furthering or supporting up the project that they might be working on. And you essentially win $10,000 to scale up your project idea. We have various networking opportunities, awards, field visits, and special events. Okay. So the most exciting part now, the 28th Youth Assembly is going to be held in New York City from August 11th to 13th in 2023. Conference Super Early Bird will be opening up in October, and it's going to go throughout December. Next year, starting in January, we'll have Early Bird, followed by regular registration and then late registration. So there will be various periods of registration that will be open for young people. So what I want to do right now is ask you all if you can help us select a theme for 2023. We're in the early stages of developing the event for next year. I really want to hear from you. What issues do you really care about? You can engage with us on our social media channels as well at the Youth Assembly and using the hashtag YA28. So feel free to comment. I'm going to read them later on. Any comments on what issues you really care about as a young person to really help us select what we should be looking at as an organization, as the organizer of the Youth Assembly, for 2023. So this is your chance to pitch in your ideas and really get involved with our planning. Okay, now this is just a picture of our 27th session that was held in New York City at the UN headquarters on the opening day on International Youth Day. Okay, and I'm gonna end with a quote from Stefan Galati, who is the founder of AFS, who wrote, AFS believes in youth, in its ability to see clearly, to see through the fog of propaganda, to see with the eyes of the heart. This is so of the youth of all nations. And it is also the proposition that the entire AFS is now devoted to. So that is really a nice way to hopefully frame what AFS stands behind. And here I'm just sharing our social media channels. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Our website is youthassembly.org, where you can learn more about our registration opening, which I've mentioned is going to be opening early October of this year. And then you can definitely see more information about the event for 2023 and hopefully contribute as well to the planning of the event in terms of themes and areas you want to see us cover. Okay, so I'm going to stop the presentation here and give you guys a chance to comment or ask any questions, which I'm happy to take.
Okay, thank you very much for Yumna for that introduction on AFS and also especially the Youth Assembly. So thank you very much everyone for attending, and we'll be ending here and expecting you guys tomorrow that we'll be live at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and we expect you all to join and learn more and more with us. Thank you very much for attending, and have a blessed day, night, and everyone.